Hi, fifth graders. I'm coming to you live from Germ Central, also known as Mrs. Z's house. I hope you got your best behavior on for our substitute today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about illustrating our books. I know this is what a lot of us have been waiting for, and I wanted to give you some things to think about before we start to make a plan for that. We are not drawing actual pictures today. Sorry, that's going to wait for tomorrow. We've got to do some planning. Just like we pre-write with our writing, we've got to plan for our drawings too. So I know that some of us have this idea in our head that I must show on my pictures exactly what's happening in the text on my page. And that works well for some books. For example, That's Not My Monster. His nose is too blobby. That's exactly what's happening on the page. That's Not My Monster. His eyebrows are too hairy. Exactly what's happening on this page. So sorry you can't touch the fuzzy pink eyebrows. But this is pretty simplistic. Another book where we might see exactly what's happening on the page, Counting Kisses by Karen Katz. Okay. So we've got My Tired Little Baby, Do You Need a Kiss? Baby's crying, mom's asking, do you need a kiss? 10 little kisses on teeny tiny toes. Exactly what's happening in the text is being shown in the picture. But again, this is a pretty simplistic book. Most of us have books with a little bit more in them. So when we think about a book like The Three Little Aliens and the Big Bad Robot, we might have a story where it looks like this. Nigglewicks and Gork traveled on. Nigglewicks didn't like the look of the next planet either. Nowhere to breathe, he gasped. Picky, picky, Gork said. Then just ahead he spied a giant planet with huge golden rings around it. He jumped on a passing satellite and caught a ride on the ring. Whee, he squealed. This is what I call home. We can't live on a ring that goes around in circles, yelled Nigglewicks. We'll get dizzy. But Gork wasn't paying any attention. You'll see on this page we've got quite a bit of action happening in the text. And not all of the action is represented in the picture. So we have a planet where they couldn't breathe. We can see the planet in the background. It's not the main focus in the picture. We don't see them having a conversation about it. We don't see Gork jumping on the satellite. He's already in it in the picture. So even though we don't get to that until the end of it, that's already first in the picture. We see our other character here. We see the planet with the rings is taking up the most amount of space. So the author had to give some thought here about what is the action that's happening on this page? What action do I most want to showcase? Because the picture needs to help move this story along. Okay, so here we have a lot of text, one picture kind of summarizing the main actions that's happening. We've got some other books too that might do things a little bit differently. Okay. In Olivia, we've got, on sunny days, Olivia likes to go to the beach. We have a small illustration showing the beach. She feels it's important to come prepared. Again, a small picture. Last summer when Olivia was little, her mother showed her how to make sandcastles. A small picture with some action reflecting what's happening. She got pretty good. Okay, so our author's making some choices here about what action do I want to showcase in. And in this case, this author often does lots of little pictures on the page. Now, you'll have picture one page, text on the other, but you can certainly incorporate more than one small picture on the page if you'd like to. We don't want to have it too many. The author in this book does one page like this, where you can see that there's lots and lots of tiny little pictures. But if we get too much and all of our pages look like this, our picture book actually begins to read much more like a comic book. And that's not the intent. We want to make sure that we're picking the most important pictures to kind of demonstrate what's happening in our action. In I Will Not Never Eat a Tomato by Lauren Child, okay, we start out with some different pictures, and then we have a combination of photographs and pictures. Lola looked at the table. Then why are those carrots there, Charlie? I don't ever eat carrots. So we've got the illustration over here, kind of a collage, combined with some photographs. Now, this does a really nice job of mixing our pictures with the text. We don't have that option due to our publishing, but you can kind of see the different things that are happening here. Okay? So what we need to do today is we need to make a plan. You should be getting a sheet from the substitute. It's got some pages crossed out, but it shows that we've got our text on one page and our picture on the other. I'm going to go grab that. Looks like this. Okay, so we're ignoring our title page, our dedication and copyright. We'll get to that when I come back. We're going to start here where it says first page writing, and then we've got to pick. Now, this is really tiny, but we're not going to fill up the whole thing. This is not our final draft. This is where we do stick figures or a couple of notes or things like that. So we look at what our text is, and you've got the laptops available if you want to go back and look at, hey, what text did I put on each of my 7 pages? And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go to this side and you're going to say, okay, this is what I think my picture or pictures are going to be here. I'm going to do some stick figures or some notes. We don't need to worry about using color here. We don't need to worry about it looking perfect because this is our rough draft. This is sort of like our pre-writing for our story, but this is our pre-drawing for our drawings. Tomorrow when I'm back, we will go ahead and we will talk about how do we do these finalized with the parameters of what we need. Now you'll notice I've crossed out all of this, and that's because you only have 7 pages of text. You only have 7 pages of illustrations. So choose wisely. Give it some real thought about what would best go with my writing to showcase that on the illustrations. All right. You can ask the sub if you've got any questions. You can email me depending on how sick my kids are. I may be able to check those emails. Otherwise, you're going to use your work on writing time today to your pre-drawing planning on this sheet. Everybody should have that finished when I come back tomorrow. And then you could do pre-write, or you could even do some work on word work where you're working on your spelling words that you got yesterday. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for putting your best efforts in today. Have a great day.